Hello and welcome to A Pair of Dice Lost podcasting channel. My name is Brendan. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be your storyteller for this game about living gods on the wrong side of the law. Joining me for this game is...
Hey there, guys. My name is Tyler. Pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be playing Ricky, the fire-aspected street exorcist.
Hi, everybody. My name's Christina. I will be playing Elion. My pronouns are she, her, and Elion's pronouns are they, them. They are a water-aspected investigator.
Hi, everyone. My name's Cody. Pronouns are he, they, and I play Amalur Devine, the air-aspected shady businessman.
Hi, my name is Britt, and my pronouns are she and her. I play a wood aspect named Rush Fairus, who has a ferret familiar named Zeke. Together, they specialize in archery, larceny, and dance.
Hi, I'm Michaela, she, her, and I'll be playing Tirali of House Regara, an Earth-aspected leader of a small military force known as the Tyrants, who cooks the books for the gang.
And this is Exalted, like a dragon-blooded. Act 3, 100 Kingdoms, 100 Heresies. You guys believe that you have a way back into Chiaroscuro fairly quickly, fairly easily. That's way specifically being using one of the few portals to the family's vault. Using basically the connecting path from the family's vault in Great Forks, and then using that to get to the vault, go back, and then go back through Chiaroscuro. You're hoping that is the way that Moya was able to get out of Chiaroscuro before, when she talked to Ricky a few weeks back. So currently, you guys are residing in Great Forks, probably at the estate of the Resch family, hanging out, preparing, maybe lounging around a pool, what have you.
We hanging out at my house.
So what you're saying is Britt is having me over for a pool party at her place. Art imitates life.
Are there any preparations that you guys need to make in there, outside of like food and stuff?
I can't really think of anything outside of the basics, like food, arrows, different things like that.
Yeah, like Divine's going to, since we're in Great Forks anyways, Divine's going to have stopped by his fence to pull out some bribing money in case it's needed.
A very good call.
But other than making my wealth a little more liquid, that's about all I got.
Okay, then. With your plan known to the top brass and the vault, Ferris's mother, Reshkla, takes you both to the pool house. There, she goes through a trunk full of bathing gear, among other things, and pushes a button that opens up a hidden door within the pool house. There is a stairway leading down, and as you all are leaving, she takes Fairus into a... Be careful out there, little girl. Don't let anything happen. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Don't do anyone that I wouldn't do, and don't get hurt. When she says don't get hurt, she stares daggers at Devine.
She'll be fine. None of us are gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
we're all gonna come back in one piece.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I got Devine with me. We'll be good.
All right, one piece. I'm holding you to that. And she ushers you both down the stairway. Okay, so you guys go down into the vault. You guys have been in the vault before. This is now no longer a new and interesting thing to you. It is going to take some time. but you guys are aware of the traps, the things to do, the things not to do, the ways to approach it. I am not going to have you guys go through the entire 5 days dungeon one way again. They all know that it is going to take you all some time to go through this thing. However, I am going to ask when that you guys make it to the halfway point, which is the vault, where the green sun of Malpheus is shining down. Are you guys going to stick around, or are you guys going to immediately make for the exit that you know leads to Chiaroscuro?
Want to go make friends with Octavian.
I would stick around long enough to just make sure we didn't miss anything, like, obvious. But I'd vote for just keep going, and if Devine even tries to be serious about staying longer to meet Octavian, I'm going to drag him with me.
No, I don't want to meet Octavian. I don't want to ever see him ever again.
I figured as much, but I'm just putting it out there. If you showed any sign of wanting to stay longer, I'm just going to grab you and drag you.
Last time we were here, it almost looked like a murder scene, didn't it?
That it did.
Like, has it been cleaned up since then?
It has been cleaned up since then, and the vault and the pool it has begun to refill at a slow rate with coins and script from all across the land. As as crime is kind of now that there's an entire city and part of a direction that's wiped off the map and being weird. People are in need of goods and willing to pay whoever, not just the legal means.
Sounds good to me. Give me some money.
We don't smuggle, though. We're protection rackets.
You guys do a lot of things.
I was just say, the family does a lot of things. Us particularly are probably closer to protection rackets.
My patron is the god of smuggling.
Look, I don't pay attention to your shit all the time. I know you have dice and a demon, and you do weird shit.
I have a magical prison pocket.
Do you now?
So
100%.
So I'm going to take that as a no on making friends with Octavian the Living Tower. Any other second circle demons you want to try and chat up? No? Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, I'll hard pass.
You guys are going to then depart from the vault and head towards the way that you know. As that you are passing through familiar tunnels and familiar winding paths through weird fey-haunted places, you eventually come across the slumbering form of a tyrant lizard.
My baby!
This is, of course, the same tyrant lizard that you had seen before, Fairus. You had made an attempt. You've made multiple attempts now, I believe, at trying to get him on your side. Will you make another one this day?
I've made 2. One was fairly successful. One was questionable. I definitely would like to try again.
You guys have time, and this thing has some trust in you. So, yeah, you're free to do that without, unless, of course, he were to say botch. There shouldn't be any backlash yet.
Is it just sleeping there? Has it noticed us? Has it opened its eye sleepily like it did last time?
It is definitely doing a large 20-foot tall hunk shoe in this part of the dungeon.
Brendan.
Yes.
I want to spend 3 motes to use Sagacious Elder's instruction to introduce the lore that tyrant lizards are more malleable and susceptible to persuasion when they first wake up if woken properly, giving Fairus a specialty in making friends with tyrant lizards.
Go ahead and roll that for me.
Now, all I gotta do is not botch the roll I specifically designed this character to be able to make. And I'm going to go ahead and add 2 successes for 4 motes. And that'll double 9s. 8 successes on 10 dice.
I'm going to definitely say that due to the structure of the brain in the tyrant lizard, it is in fact very susceptible to suggestions from what it perceives to be a pack leader upon awakening. This is due to its need to rapidly process information as soon as it awakens. As while that in our own world, it would be considered an apex predator, considering the size and everything like that. The scale of that thing compared to some of the other bullshit in Exalted makes it look pretty not the biggest deal.
Tyrant lizards have eyes on the side of their heads, making them prey animals.
Technically, yes. Unlike the redwood mantis, which always faces forward.
Of course.
That just seems so backwards.
I mean, I think mantises technically have eyes on all sides of their head, but
I don't know.
I know they are big-ass compound eyes. Anyways, here, have your specialty, kid.
Alrighty. So, with the advice from Devine, Fairus is going to approach the tyrant lizard in a confident way. She's not gonna show fear or anything, even though he's asleep and can't really see her acting confident and stuff. And she's just gonna matter-of-factly go up and tap it on the snoot. Not in an aggressive manner to scare it awake, but to get its attention, because clearly she is much smaller than this creature. So she's gonna have to hit a little harder. But trying to wake it up. And she is going to actually, before I do that, Devine, do you have anything that has our family insignia on it? That's the right word, right?
The crest? Yeah, probably.
Divine's gonna slowly, wordlessly start undressing.
I just need a handkerchief or a shirt, something, a flag.
The best I got is my markings kid. As he's got the Goe Satara family crest chest back tattoo. It's Yakuza. It's a back tattoo, not a chest tattoo.
Does that look anything similar to the Resh one, which is the tyrant lizards?
The Resh one, I don't believe is tyrant lizards.
Is that just our in general family? Because I thought we were the tyrant lizards.
No, I believe that the entire clan is tyrant. That's why the head of the entire clan is the tyrants. This is never important until that it needs to be important.
I know.
Yeah. The Goe Satara family is the loyal ox dragons of the Chiaroscuro clan.
And we are tired.
Parent organization, the Rush family, it looks like a crocodile, whatever that thing is. River dragons.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Man, it's almost like 3 years ago Brendan made a wiki for us. We got this. Chiaroscuro clan is the tyrant lizards.
For some reason, I thought that was not the whole thing, but that was the Resh thing, but I appreciate the clarification. Well, then, if he starts on, undressing and stuff, she's just gonna stop and be like, no, that's fine. I was hoping for, a bandana or something. I don't need you to undress for this.
Sure. He's gonna put his robe back on.
And then that's when Ferris will just be like, okay, well then we're gonna do it without any flashy stuff. But you're gonna stand right behind me if that's okay with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna stand right behind her, and Divine's gonna take his robe off again. If I'm standing here anyways, you might as well use what we got.
That's fine. When I start waking it up, I want it to look like you are a follower of me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm submitting to you by presenting my back to the predator.
Excellent. So with us standing there, they'll walk up to the side of its face so that way its eye can see us. And she's gonna kind of stand up straight, and that's when she'll start like bopping the side of its face to get its attention to wake it up. And she'll speak in a very confident tone, but not in like baby talk like people do with their pets. And as she's like bopping it on the face, she's like, hey, I need you to wake up, and I need you to listen. And I guess I will roll my animal handling survival stuff.
So, with both of you working together and giving me that great little scene, I'm going to give you a 3-dot stunt. So that's 2 extra dice, 2 auto successes, and regen 2 willpower.
All right. So with that, I also get that specialty from Devine, which gives me a die, or just a bonus. And then I have a specialization in animal handling, which gives me another die. I'm also going to...
Hold up. Specialty.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll use his specialty. I won't use mine. And I'm going to spend some motes to cause my anima to go up 1 notch into glowing. And I'm going to spend 4 motes to get 2 more auto successes. I'm going to spend a willpower to get another auto success. And then I'm going to spend 3 motes for beast taming aspect. Now, beast taming aspect, it says she doubles 9s on a roll to train an animal or to influence it using performance or presence, but it's a survival charm.
Either performance or presence.
So would I still get the bonuses for using the survival excellency, though?
No, you would not, because you'd need to be using performance or presence for that. Now, the survival excellency, since we know that you were going to be doing this, could just be transferred over to your performance or presence. It is kind of a vague specialty of the...
Yeah, so then if that's the case, I'm going to do performance, and
Yeah.
I'll spend the 4 motes to get the 2 successes with the performance charm.
Yeah, if you're using the specialty granted by my charm, it applies to any role do you want to use that on.
Alright, but I can still use the beast taming aspect even though it's a survival charm for the performance roll.
Yes. It's kind of like how that Tyler has that nasty comms appearance in the presence tree, but then or whatever to give himself more evasion based off of his appearance, and then give himself health levels.
Okay, I think that's like my only charm that's like weird like that, and I've only used it like 1 other time.
You probably actually have a bunch that are weird like that. You're just not looking at them in real life.
Maybe? Every one that I've read, it's never had like you using this under this tree, but it's for a different tree. So that is 7 motes I'm spending, which puts me in glowing. And I am going to be rolling performance, and is it manipulation, intelligence?
You would be rolling performance and charisma.
Charisma. Okay. Alright, I think I got everything put in here. I got all my dice. It's 13 dice, 5 auto successes, and I double 9s.
Okay, go for it.
16 successes. I'm built for this. Ayo!
With 16 successes, there is wake this tyrant lizard up. He, upon the back of your follower, the sight of it with its jaw wide open, ready to bite anyone who dare to get in their way. It knows you, and it knows you instinctively enough to know that you are in fact the alpha. You are in fact the leader of its clan. You are the person who is in charge here. You are the person who it should follow. As it has awoken from its nap, you can feel the bond between the two of you has deepened to the point that, Britt, you may now add Familiar 3 to.
I already have Familiar 3 on my
You're
roll.
allowed to have multiple familiars, Britt.
I will add another Familiar 3 to my character sheet.
No. You're just turning into Familiar 6 as Zeke and the Tyrant Lizard Voltron.
If you want, since we are kind of getting a lot of stuff for the final battle, what will end up happening with this is you will have the choice to either control it during the fight when I give you stats for it, giving yourself effectively a second turn if you want, or to keep things a little bit more simpler since this game is overly complex. We will use that as kind of a kind of like how we did in the Exalted versus World of Darkness game, where that it's like, oh, you got some allies. Okay, cool. Well, they're a call in who will help you during a key moment for you, and you can make that call when we make it to the final battle.
I definitely am all for doing the more simple ones, since I already know this fight's going to be a pain in the ass. So using it as a call-in for something might be our best option.
But yeah, now that we are going to take this Tyrant Lizard on our stealth mission in the city.
I don't think that you guys are going to take the Tyrant Lizard on the stealth mission in the city.
Yeah, that's not...
It's still stealth if there's no witnesses.
Well, that is a Brit decision.
I'm not taking the Tyrant Lizard on stealth missions. Zeke is my stealth familiar. Sandy is my barbarian familiar.
Understood. Its name is Sandy.
Yes, because it likes to sleep in the sand.
You all, having made it through the rest of the dungeon, exit out into the under. Once had found the entrance to the vault before. Undercity of Chiaroscuro is less hustling and bustling than it had been before, as if people have forgotten its existence. It is now an abandoned station on the way to greater places to be. While the dust and cobwebs have yet to long here, you all do find that buildings that had once housed dens of ill repute, bars, cults, that kind of thing, are run down. Establishments that look like that they've been completely abandoned for months, if not longer, somehow. Do you guys leave the Undercity?
What do my houses of ill repute look like? Are they all abandoned?
Heading back towards the familiarist section of the Undercity. Your specific areas are not abandoned. They are, however, I'm going to run that back. They are abandoned. However, they appear to still be in good shape. Like that they've been tended to. And
somebody's been mowing my yard.
Is that
I don't like it, Brendan.
Is that really such a bad thing? I mean, the help still came, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think that makes me the bad guy, Brendan. The boss still expects you to come to work, even in the apocalypse. I am the capitalist we've hated all along.
You could always investigate and see what's up.
Yeah, I definitely want to investigate because it's either like people are hiding out in here, and that's a good thing, or Moya's like, yeah, they're gonna rejoin because girls Delulu.
So then my question is, for both of you, is your approach to these buildings stealthy or not?
I would say it's stealthy.
Yeah, like the reason it's just the two of us is because we are the stealth people.
Okay. To let you know, the urging here is fairly well lit. Everything is well maintained, at least those three buildings specifically. Things on the outskirts are a little bit less so. There appears to be a light on in each of the buildings, mostly where the what's it called, where the front desk would be for each of them. But you don't see any other signs of life besides that around here. And I'm going to make a roll to see to show you exactly what you need to beat.
Just verifying, since we met the tyrant lizard halfway through, or was it on the way out? So how long has it been, and am I still glowing?
It's probably been like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Brennan, I want to spend 5 motes and a willpower to use Dragon Shroud technique and impose a -3 penalty on your roll to oppose our stealth.
Okay, done. Does it do anything else? Does it give me any weird things like change any numbers around?
Not that one. It's just the dragon blood spins air into an enfolding shroud against all senses. Her form is blurred and indistinct, her noise is muffled, and every other trace of her presence masked from detection, scent, body heat, and more. All rolls to oppose her stealth take a penalty of essence divided by 2, rounded up, and she waives the cost of muting air charms with Whispering Dragon Soul. The charm ends if the dragon blood attacks.
Okay, I'm going to roll and show you guys exactly what you are going to have to beat on perception or with your stealth rolls. The number you're looking for is a 7 to beat. And yes, that is with the 3 dice taken away.
Yeah. I am going. Does my specialty of avoidance count for this stuff?
Absolutely.
I have a specialty in stealth called avoiding detection. And I'm also going to use 4 motes to get 2 auto successes and a willpower for a 3rd auto success.
Dex and health.
I'm going to spend 6 motes on auto successes. And then 4 motes on soundless action prana. Which every 10 on the stealth roll rerolls a non-1 failed die and can't be detected by hearing. Unless the opposing character's hearing is superhuman or magically enhanced.
I'm also going to spend 2 motes for Flowing Shadow Stance, so I can reroll 6s on my stealth roll until they cease to appear.
Alright, and we should probably stunt this somehow. I imagine Devine and Fairus look at each other and, like, we look and see that the storefronts look less dilapidated than the businesses around them. And that obviously ticks our suspicion meter through the roof. So they play a game of rock, paper, scissors to see who takes the high ground and who gets to take the high ground and who has to take the low ground before splitting up.
She will also Ferris will also kind of stretch her legs a little bit, like she's like preparing to be able to move quickly, and also tucking all of her loose garments in more so they're not flowing, so they don't accidentally like catch on anything or hit anything. And she makes sure her bow is tight against her body. And when Zeke pops his head out, she just like puts a hand on top of his head and slowly pushes him back in there and like puts her finger to her mouth to say shh, like a shushing noise towards Zeke before she does this game of rock, paper, scissors with Devine.
After they play the game, Divine's going to quietly pull out like 50 script and just hold it up like silently saying, I bet you'll get seen before I do, in their quiet, silent communication before they dip off like it's like they are the Black Ops and Naruto and just kind of turn into blurs of motion, zipping opposite directions into the shadows, moving in towards their storefronts.
I am loving this both like very serious but like at the same time kind of goofy like side to both of them. I'm gonna give you guys another collective 3-dot stunt for playing off of each other. I love it.
We don't get to showcase that these two are actual factual besties.
Yeah, Fairus and Devine are actually a lot closer than we get to showcase, so I'm glad we get to do this. So that's an extra 2 dice and 2 auto successes. And 2 willpower.
You know what? Might as well spend a willpower. Is that a success or a dice?
That's a success.
That puts me back at an extra 2 willpower, because I got 2 from the last thing. I just spent 1 on this, which put me at a +1 willpower, and then this gave me 2 more. Ah, ha, ha, that's so good.
But I get to reroll 1. 10.
Oh, I put my reroll
12.
authority back in there, but I didn't get any 6s.
Okay, so Ferris with 11 successes and Devine with 12 successes. Both are incredibly stealthy. Are either of you planning to converge on one of the buildings, or are both of you going to go to a separate building?
You know what? We didn't discuss this before. I say we both send it to Brendan and see what happens separately without telling each other what building we're going to.
Well, considering we supposedly played a game to see who takes high and who takes low, I would have assumed we went to separate buildings.
Well, since you guys did not decide that before, I'm going to ask you guys to send me Discord messages as to which building that you're going to. As a reminder, there is the Cordial Crane, the current host club. Well, I guess technically former. The Bountiful Bear, that is the inn, and the Shaved Yedem, which is the gambling hall. Okay. Ferris, you approach the Bountiful Bear. You remember a time here when they had fought a fae and a mummy. You all had saved Idris's from a bit of, well, child trafficking. Being a criminal isn't exactly the nicest world to live in, but you guys have made some light in the darkness. Coming into the Bountiful Bear, you see that at the front desk, a sign that simply reads ring for service. The place looks immaculately swept, and rooms look lived in, though currently empty. What do you do?
You said the rooms looked lived in, but currently empty. Is there any sign or sound of anybody in the building? Did I miss that?
That'd be a...
Because basically what's going to happen is I'm going to do my damnedest to get in and like quietly listen, like kind of freeze, hold my breath, and listen for any sounds or movements in the building that I can hear before I make my way to continue looking.
Sounds good. I'll give you 2 extra dice.
And you said wits and awareness?
perception and awareness.
And then I don't know if this will happen, or if this can go for it. I do have a specialty in being able to tell when followed. I'm assuming that wouldn't count towards this, right? 4 successes.
With 4 successes, you move around the room, around the Bountiful Bear, searching for people. You know that someone is here, has been here, places this clean without someone there to take care of them, but you, for the life of you, cannot find anyone.
I will keep making my way through. Do the doors have, like, peepholes?
None that you're aware of that can be accessed from not the secret side of the Bountiful Bear.
Okay, so like, they don't have, like, if someone were to knock on the door, they can't, like, look through to see who's out there.
No, because most of the doors here are going to be like sliding doors.
Oh, duh. Okay. As you know, I keep going through, and I feel like there's probably someone, but not quite sure. I mean, obviously someone's been here. Ferris is just gonna kind of stick to the shadows that she can, and obviously, if there's like no shadow in a certain area, she'll quickly do like some ninja back handspring type moves to kind of get out of the light as much as possible. And when she gets to doors that maybe there's a light on behind them, or she can see under the door that there's a light, she'll kind of put her ear to the wall next to it, not on the door in case it gets opened, and listen in to see if she can hear anything at all.
Okay, I'll give you 2 extra dice. That's going to be another perception and awareness roll.
And I'm going to spend a willpower on this one for an auto success. 7.
In the area. Some of them have started to accrue as if someone had.
Are the doors pretty like sealed? Like there's no cracks to like look through them. They're like, if once they're closed, they're pretty closed.
They are sliding doors, so they can be opened fairly easily. There's not a whole lot. The only thing that is giving privacy here right now, outside of a specialty suite, have a lock on it, is, well, social decorum.
Mostly I'm asking, like, if I were to lay on the ground and look under the door, is there a big enough crack that I can do that, or do I need to like try to crack the door?
You would need to try to crack the door because, again, it is sliding, so it has to be on the ground to be sliding.
I was thinking of like those doors that are attached at the top only for sliding, not necessarily like both. But
We're thinking about the western sliding doors, the barn doors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so then Ferris is going to hold her breath, and she is going to use a like 2 fingers to kind of push them in between the door and where it like closes to try to slide just a big enough of a crack for her to look in without being super obvious. And she's gonna use all the concentration that you would see her using when she's picking locks. So like she'll kind of stick her tongue out to the side as she's like focusing on the door, trying not to make any noise, and she will attempt to push it just enough to be able to look inside. As she's listening to the breathing, she's going to try to move the door in sync with them like letting out air, if she can time it, to try to avoid detection as best as she can.
I'll give you a 2 dot stunt for that. That would be Dex and Larceny, as you are technically committing a breaking and entering.
And I will spend a willpower for an auto success and 2 motes for or 4 motes to get 2 other auto successes using the excellency. And 2 dot gives me 1 die and 1 auto.
2 dice, 1 auto success, 1 will.
11 successes.
Devine. You head
Yeah,
on
what-
over to the Shaved Yedem.
Yeah, I do.
Are you also approaching stealthily, or are you? Well, obviously you are approaching stealthily. I already asked that before. Are you going to the front? Are you going through one of the manager entrances? What's your approach here, bud?
Yeah, I'm going through, popping around the back of the building and going through that manager entrance. Pretty much making his way to Salon's office, because if anybody's here, that's where I figure they'd be.
You make it up to the door just outside of Salon's office. There you can hear the sound of muttering through the door, as well as the sound of a conversation happening. The voices are muted, as should be from the manager's office. It's leaking out after all. What do you do?
I'm gonna spend 2. No, I'll just spend it out of peripheral. Spend no personal. That's the one. Spend 5 personal notes to activate Deep Listening Palm, and just lean on the wall outside the door to listen through as if the wall wasn't there.
It's actually a part of me that kind of wishes I had a drink in hand for this. Now, you listen here. I don't care what anyone says. My boss is going to be coming back any day, and we're not going to have to deal with her anymore. Shaved Yedem, Bountiful Bear, Culture Crate, we're going to be back in business, and things are going to be great. And I don't care what you're talking about. I know that Devine is coming back. I'm not going to work for my underling. That would be... As that Devine, you can hear, without a doubt, the sound of Regara Salon slurring her words as that she has gone back into a deep drunken state with the loss of her rock that was Amelar Devine.
I'm going to wait a little bit longer. You know what? What's a willpower roll? I'm gonna dice this, because there is a strong part of Divine that's like, haha, I want to make the grand entrance right after she says my name. But there's the information gathering part that knows that's the wrong answer, that he should wait and listen to who it is first, who she's talking to.
So if that you wanted to go so here's the issue is, if you were a solar, I know what the role is. The role is, hey, do you have an intimacy that you would be denying by not doing this? Make me a limit roll. So I guess the question is, do you have an intimacy that you would be denying by not doing this?
It could be arguing that I would be denying my intimacy on gambling. No, it's not even a gamble. I know the person in there is safe because she wouldn't be talking so freely and calling Moya her underling if they weren't somebody that could be trusted to be around. So yeah, once she finishes talking about, I know the boss is going to come back, that's when I open the door.
Britt.
Brendan.
You open the door. You can see standing there the ragged but tall form of Unbowed Ashen Mountain.
It's Mountain.
He looks rough, like he's been in a few scrapes too many. He has new scars and bits missing from him that were not there the last time. Burn marks, places where the blades have cut. He is hoarding what looks to be a large amount of food, as inside that you can peek. It is hard to tell, but it looks almost put his large finger.
All right. Give me 1 second, because I think I have a charm I use without being like loud over here. So I was looking over my charms. I did not take the charm I was talking about, which is a Whispering Thief technique. I have it written down because I was going to take it, but then we took back some of the things I spent to get all my evocations for my bow. So I have it just there. That's why it's highlighted in red on my screen. So I think what I'm just gonna do, I'm not gonna go full on Big Bird kicking down a door, but I'm going to kind of tighten, make sure all my clothing is tightened up again. Nothing loose. I'm gonna pull one of my scarves like over my face and over my head to cover my hair and the vines in my hair, and just have kind of like my eyes and my nose visible. So most of my features are going to be more hidden, and I'm gonna have Zeke kind of resituate himself to like around my shoulders instead of like in just my shirt blouse to kind of look like they're a little bit bigger, because I don't want to spend a lot of motes doing any like stealthy change my appearance type stuff, but I do want to come in not quite like if you're caught off guard knowing who I am, but if you really look at me, you'll realize who I was.
So what I'm hearing is that you're making a disguise roll without using any of the charms to make a disguise roll.
Kind of, because I just don't want to be like recognized right off the bat and then murdered as soon as I open the door. Because blondish green hair with a green tinted skin and like bark skin on my arms is pretty obvious. But Ferris is going to open the door slowly and not to startle him. But she's going to make sure when she opens the door, she's going to speak calmly and just kind of come out of the hallway like mountain.
He turns. The children back away, seem to run for corners that have holes in them, slink away into little mouse. He takes what looks like a martial arts stance. Who are you? How did you find me? Thank you for taking the time to enjoy our show. If you liked what you heard, why not leave a review or tell a friend about us? It helps get the good word out about the work we put into this show. If you wanted to ask us any questions, you can contact us through Twitter at apairofdicelost or email at apairofdicelost@gmail.com. The theme song for this game is Dragon Dance by Raphael Crux, used under a Creative Commons license. And for making it this far, I saw that cool thing you did, so have some stunt dice.